All right, then. So now what we have to do is we have to jump into the header. So let me open the header. So inside this header, so where we are getting that input value, so where it is, here we go. This is the place where we are getting that input value, right? So what I need to do is, so I'm just going to copy the same function. All right, so same function, we need the same function. And instead of that, what I'm going to do is first I need to get the state. So let's get the state value over here. This is one. Let's copy this and let's get the headers right over here. I don't need anything at all. These things are not necessary, and we need to import this use filter. So let's import it, and then on change over here, on change, I'm going to say handle search term. This is the function I need to call. Copy it. Const handle search term is equals to call the event along with that from where it's been triggered. So this function is get called over here. And now what I need to do, I need to copy the same method and I'm going to paste it inside over here. And let's use this query client, because over there I used it a small lowercase, and here it is in capital camel case over here. Now what we have to do is, so we are getting the global filter and we are updating the search term value. But what is this value? This place, it's going to be your new search term, which is nothing but which is coming from e.target.value. From the event, we'll get the target ID and we'll get that value, and we're updating it. And the value for this is going to be filter data dot search term. If we do have this data, then display that data, filter data dot search term. If we don't have, then leave it as empty string. All right, because initially it is going to be empty string. If we have, we'll display that data. So now if I type something, you can see whenever I type something, it's initially getting updated over here. Sample. If I delete it, and the state is also getting updated over here. Now I need to bring a delete button. I need to bring a clear button, the place after that input tag. That's the place I need to bring that the clear button, the X mark, the clear button. I need to bring it over there, which is need to be displayed right away, straight away over here. So that's going to help us to clear the filters. So we need to clear the filter, right? So for that, I'm going to bring in one more button over here, motion dot div. Inside here, I'm going to bring a paragraph tag, and that paragraph tag which is going to display just an X mark. Class name, text to Excel, and text to black. And for this div, what I'm going to do, so that will display that X mark over there. Yeah, you can see that X mark. So for that X mark, we need to add some styles. So class name, so width is going to be 8, height is going to be 8, and flex item center and justify it in the center, and bg gray 300, rounded medium, cursor pointer, and on active state I'm going to scale the percentage into 95, and duration is going to be 150. So it feels like whenever I click this, you can see it's reducing the size of it. So we'll get that effect. Let me enable the word wrap so we can see it completely. All right, so this button need to be displayed only if the search term length is greater than 0. So for this, I'm going to add some animation stuff. Let's bring the fade in out with opacity. I'm going to use the same animation from the animation which we already created. And now this needs to be rendered. When it's need to be rendered, it's need to be rendered if the filter data dot search term dot length greater than 0, then we need to display this. save these changes. Otherwise, we don't need to display that. Now we can see here, if I have something, you will get that. If I don't have something, you will not see that clear filter option. On click, whenever I'm clicking this, I'm going to call on click clear filter. I'm going to call this method. So here I'm just going to say const clear filter is equals to a function. So for clearing, what we are going to do exactly the same stuff, copy this, but instead of this targeted value, we're going to keep it as an empty string. Save these changes. And now if I type something, you can see we'll get some data over here. And if I click it, it will clear the filter. We have to do the same thing for over here also. So what we have to do, we can simply copy this function and let's get into the filter section, and right after over here paste it, and where we are clearing it, this is the place where I have clear button. So for this, on click, let's simply call that clear filter option. Now if I click this, you can see it gets updated over here, and if I click this, you can see the query client is showing an issue. The reason is why, because over here the query client, I kept it as a smaller lowercase. That's the problem, because when you're copying and pasting, please be very careful. Now you can see it's updated. Software engineer, it's applied over here, and as well as if I clear this, it gets removed from here, and the state is also getting updated. If I click this, if I click from here, that's okay. So clear all is not working now. If I click, okay, so I just mapped that on click event for a wrong division. That's the reason. This clear all filter needs to be over here. Now if I click that, you can see it's ignored, right? Over here you can see that button, that is also working perfectly. If I close here, that will also remove. If I click here, that is also removed. So we successfully finished the filtering, applying filtering options, and as well as the clear filter options. So up next, what we have to do, we have to bring the data over here. That's what we are going to do next.